smiling because it's such a pleasure to have alongside me for a quick chat Karishma Ramharack, who is in the form of her life. Thanks for your time, firstly, Karishma. If we can just reflect on the start of 2025, you were named just about a week ago as the Sportswoman of the Year for your exploits and your pursuits in 2024. Tell us a little bit about what that award means to you.
Yeah, of course. As I mentioned in all your interviews, how important it was for, I guess, a female cricketer, to actually win that award. Usually it's highly dominated by, Olympians and stuff. So, after 42 years, I'm the second female cricketer to win that. It's definitely an honor to do so.
Tell us a little bit, for those who may not know, Karishma, about your cricketing journey, where it all started, what sort of inspired you to get into this sport?
I started off at a really, really young age. One of my mom's brother, well, I guess is her younger brother, he played cricket at club level. I guess he played for Powergen at some point. And at 5 years old, he had me throwing balls at him. Kind of grew to enjoy doing that, looking forward to doing that every evening when he comes home from school. And from there, he started to teach me small things about the game. And yeah, I found a love for the game after that, and I never stopped, from there.
As a former spinner myself, I know that we all started off wanting to be batters, and at some point in time, we transitioned into spinners. Was that the case for you? Did you start off batting and then transition?
Nah, I think I started off as a fast bowler.
Right.
Very slowly, but fast.
As a young female cricketer growing up in the landscape in Trinidad and Tobago, there must have been challenges. Tell us a little bit about some of those challenges and what you had to do to overcome those challenges.
Again, of course, I used to live south early in my days, and obviously, coming from south, I guess all the training sessions were held, central and north. And well, I was raised by a single parent for a really long time, and obviously, being able to, match the girls who were actually able to have equipment and stuff that would keep them in the game. I had to find support outside, and obviously those were challenges because nobody at that time knew how far you could have made it in the game. So for me it would have been equipment, transportations, getting to all the sessions in order to make those matches or make the team first of all. So yeah, those were major things that I faced early up.
Yeah, very relatable. I too, from a single parent family, and knowing the importance of the benevolence of others. You mentioned your mom in a lot of your interviews, and sadly she passed away a couple of years ago. How did that impact you, Karishma? I know it's quite emotional for you as well.
Yeah, massively. I think she's been a really, really great person to my siblings and I. I feel like she has done so much for us. And when it's time for her to actually see the rewards, she's not here to experience it, but I know she's looking down and she's proud of us.
Absolutely, she must be proud of what you continue to do.
Huge shout given, and she's bettered her previous best, Karishma Ramharack, and ends with figures of 4 for 12.
Player of the series, it's your first player of the series in your career, 10 wickets all told. How pleasing was that overall performance, not only from your team to win the series, but for you personally?
I think for me personally, coming off of India series, it was a really, really struggle to get a wicket there.
Yeah.
And, coming back home and, playing on our turf and being able to pick up back-to-back four-fers, I think personally it's really, really great for me and my achievement and my goals for this year. So, I'm just looking forward to see what this year has to present again.
And talking about great performances, Karishma, there were quite a few so far in your career. If you were to pinpoint one or two of your most special performances, your standout, your most memorable, what might that be?
It would definitely be my debut World Cup year when I got named in the team of the tournament. Obviously, playing among all these great cricketers and being one of the best, I guess, in the world stage, for me, it's probably one of my best moments.
I read an article recently about you and when you just started bowling those off spin and also having the ability to bowl the ball that turns the other way. Tell us a little bit about some of your strengths as an off spinner, tactically and technically. What are some of the things that you consider to be your strong points?
You're going to get me in trouble now.
Well, as much as you can say.
No, I think it's no secret. I think keeping the wicket in play all the time, it's one of my strengths. I feel like once you have the wicket in play, you have the opportunity to get wickets, I guess, LBW, bowl down, people, just playing right in front of the bat, short, mid-wicket. So for me, it's all about, making the batter play. And once you have them doing that, I think, you always have a chance in the game.
Right, so we know of your exploits on the field, we know what you are capable of. Off the field now, what are some of the things that you like to do? Tell us a little bit about Karishma Ramharack outside the cricket field.
Well, I usually mention that I'm quite subtle, very boring, but my sister will beg to disagree. She thinks I'm very funny. But obviously, when you're around your family, your peers, you have a different personality. So I think for me, I'm very witty. I will make my I guess undercover jokes.
Right.
Sarcastically as well. But also, I think for me, I really enjoy being with my family, with my friends. I spend time with them as much as I can when I'm there. On the road, it gets really tough sometimes when you keep having to travel, back and forth. So for me, once I'm able to be with them, be around them, make sure they're fine, seeing that, know that mom is not there, I cannot step up as the mom now. But, once they're happy, I'm happy.
So if you were not a cricketer then, Karishma, what are some things that might have interested you? What are other career paths potentially?
Well, I have been qualified as an engineer at some point. I think right now I could work as an engineering technician. I've always liked the name engineering without knowing, how hard you had to work to be one. But, I think I would have been an engineer for sure.
Karishma Ramharack, the off-spinning engineer, but she can also be an engineer in real life. If you were to give some bit of advice for the young women and girls coming through the system, of which there are quite a few back home in Trinidad and certainly in the West Indies, what sort of advice would you give to them, having been through the journey that you have been through?
I think, again, something I always mention is I wish I knew what I knew now then. And for me, there's so much opportunities that we have now for women in cricket. I feel like, once you have the ability, once you have the talent, don't ever set yourself short. Give it a shot. I think there's so much rewards to reap in this field.
And there's someone who's currently participating, captaining the women's team, the under-19 team in Malaysia, Samara Ramnath, off-spinner like yourself, also bowls a bit of leg spin. How do you see the young crop of young women cricketers? How do you see them coming along?
Well, for all who know, Sam and I, we have a really good relationship. I call her my child.
Right.
So, it's somebody I picked up under my wing from a really young age, somebody I look out for, in the Trinidad team. I guess being her captain as well there. I think we have a really good, bunch coming up. I think we just have to, again, from early start teaching them the right things, the way, we would like to play our cricket going forward. And it's things that we as senior girls are learning as well. So if we could continue to create a culture where we want to learn and want to grow as a team, I think once we have them in our midst, they will fall in very good.
Karishma Ramharack says that West Indies women's cricket is in good hands with the young crop coming through. And finally, Karishma, your goals, your ambitions, your aspirations going forward in 2025 and beyond, what would they be?
I think for me, again, it's all about qualifying for the World Cup. I mentioned, how important it is for us to, get there first. And as I said, once we get there, we're a team that you don't really count out too often. So for me, I would really like to win a World Cup with West Indies. And I think as much as any other team would like to win it, we are going to try our best to do that. So for me, it's all about getting us there and trying our best to win it.
World Cup, that's the aim, that's the ambition, getting there firstly and then trying to win it. I want to thank you, Karishma, for your time, for your wonderful insights, for your articulation and all of the things that you shared with us. All the best in the T20 series that starts in a couple of days' time and on your continued growth and journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.